If you want to record the Olympics, only record a few games. Don't set your DVR to Olympics. You will force feed that son of a business. My dad learned that the hard way. It's Comics and Shots, a completely improvised semi-comedic music by Howard Stern's Mick the Nerd, aka YouTube and TikTok's Mick the Man, aka Mick the Maverick, aka 2.5 bowls of chili. Today's subject, the Mercs for money. In general, I'm not sure how much of that comic I actually read. I read a good amount of it, but I don't think I read all of it. But I do know a lot about the characters within it. This is kind of be a bit of an anthology vlog, I guess. It's not just about the Mercs for Money team or the story, but just the Mercs themselves. My favorite probably being Slapstick, who, those of you who have read Avengers The Initiative, remember how the Dan Slott ruined him. Oh god. Why? That was so dark. Like, basically, he was in a superhero military installation where his drill sergeant kept referring to the New Warriors as baby killers. And it drove Slapstick over the edge to the point where he almost murdered his drill sergeant, by bashing his skull in with his cartoon hammer. It was horrifying. Yeah. Who else is on there? Solo. Let me before a little more Slapstick. Slapstick was just some kid from New Jersey who, after traveling to another dimension, gained the ability to turn into a being of pure electroplasm, which made him look like a cartoon. And with like a squash and stretch abilities, able to pull things out of thin air and place them in a pocket dimension. Interesting powers, yeah. And he had the ability to switch between cartoon and human originally, but for whatever reason they took away the switch and just trapped him in the cartoon body. Which is really tragic, actually, because his cartoon body doesn't have any organs, including So he's just living a dickless existence as a cartoon character. In one issue of Mercs for Money, he pays a sex worker to just pretend to be a family with him, because I don't think Steve Harmon, that's Slapstick's name. I've been saying Slapstick, right? Not Joystick. Joystick's the Teen Titans villain. Slapstick, I don't think he ever had sex, because he became Slapstick as a teenager. And oh dear God, how old is that kid actually? He can't be older than 21 in Marvel canon, now that I think about it. He was introduced in the 90s. Dear God. Oh, Slapstick. Poor guy. Then you got Fool Killer. I only know about Fool Killer because of Mercs for Money. He's an anti-hero who kills fools. Yeah, that's pretty much it. He's an anti-hero who kills fools. It's the worst named anti-hero of all time, despite having an actual interesting personality. Like in his a 2010 series, Fool Killer, he was like an anti-hero and a therapist. So that was interesting. Yeah. A paid murderer who also cares for people as a doctor. Yeah. Still has a terrible name, though. Horrible, horrible, horrible name. Fool Killer. Doesn't even run off the tongue. It's not even a pun. What is that? Still more interesting than Solo, the one-man war on terror. He didn't even have his original comic back when he was first introduced. He was in the backups of Iron Man. When you're and I don't think he ever had his own miniseries before Mercs for Money. He had one after that, but it didn't last very long. It's Solo. He has the ability to teleport weapons to his location at any time. He could teleport to a safe house, yada yada yada. And I don't know if this character was on the Mercs for money or was part of it. Hit Monkey. Yeah, so not talking about the Hulu show, which is great. The character, he was a monkey whose entire monkey family in Japan was killed by assassins. And then he ended up learning to wield weapons and get revenge. Yeah. And here's the weird thing about Hit Monkey in the Marvel Universe. People think this character's, existence, the concept of him is so ridiculous that people can't even believe he exists. This is a world where there is a living island, an entire race of mutants with all sorts of abilities ranging from shooting eye beams of concussive force to shitting ice cream. And yet a monkey assassin, that's where you draw the line, Marvel Universe. That is where you draw the line. That and a teenage girl claiming to be from another universe where the events of your universe are fictional. Do you know how the multiverse works, idiots? That's like at least 50 billion different stories. Ugh. Of course, subject to the multiverse, to quote the movie of the summer, Wizard of Oz did the multiverse best. Yeah, the gays knew it. Who else was on the Mercs? I think Madcap was on it. A lot of people feel that he should be an anti-hero too. His origin was pretty tragic, and his powers were very Deadpool adjacent. I think what is his powers? He has a bubble gun that makes people insane or something. I really forget. It's been forever since I read Madcap in a story. Ugh. I think Gorilla Man was in it. That guy's cool, I guess. He wanted to live forever, so he looked for a magical gorilla. And he killed it, and then became a magical gorilla man for all eternity. He's it's also not, it's the sucky kind of immortality, where it's like, if you won't die from natural causes, but you can still be murdered. So yeah, that kind of immortality. I think there was a copyright thing with the name Gorilla Man for a while. This is back in he was introduced in the Silver Age when gorillas were all the rage. You put a gorilla on your cover, you'll sell comics. You ever wonder why DC has so many frickin' gorillas? It's because they moved money. They moved units. People liked gorillas. Not as much now, though, which is a shame. Gorillas are cool. And there were definitely others. I can't remember. Massacre, maybe. Was Massacre a Merc for money? I don't know. Domino. I think she ended up taking over the team from Deadpool. And I don't really have to say much about Domino. You know Domino. Probability manipulation, telekinetic probability manipulation. It's kind of like a superpower with a weird catch, Yeah. She's cool. Yeah. Oh, she and Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't know. I do not know. Either way, they're all interesting characters, and I just wanted to talk about them and my thoughts on them, generally. Just give the lowdown. Slapstick, just give him the ability to turn human again. Solo, you can get rid of. Fool Killer, probably can get rid of, but I actually like him. Hit Monkey, always have Hit Monkey forever and ever. Domino, it's Domino, she's gonna stay. And is Gorilla Man alive? I do not know. Probably. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting amount of characters that formed a somewhat interesting team for Marvel Comics. Yeah. Yeah. With that, like, comment, and subscribe. Donate if you're feeling nice. Share it with a bear. And always remember, praise be to the Blood Elk, fear the Stavopotamus, and death to Kronos. Went through half a shot that time. Getting better. Have a night, folks.